try to do a little Guitar Vacation live stream. Just for anybody that wants to shoot the breeze about anything guitar. You know, it's kind of amazing that a computer Neanderthal like me has been able to even get such a thing started. So whether it's somebody now or in the future, we can talk about some cool guitar stuff, or you can listen to me talk about some cool guitar stuff after the stream's over. I believe the kids call it the VOD, the video on demand. So I hear. See, nobody cares what Guitar Vacation I'm on. They'll come in, they'll interrupt me. Well, I need to put a coat hanger on the door. I don't know. Never done it before. It probably wouldn't matter. They still probably open the door anyway. This week, I don't know what happened. I caught a really bad case of the gear acquisition syndrome. Make sure my audio level is. This is a work in progress. All right. So yeah, I got it started off. You know, I was looking at a few things to try to improve my audio sound, you know. And, you know, I started off looking at different mics and, oh, do I need a cloud lifter? Do I need a preamp? And man, it went from what mic slash stand do I need to get to before you know it, I had 40 internet tabs open with amps and guitars, and oh, should have, you know, done the preamp thing before, and oh, I could incorporate this into this part of my rig, and you know, it got out of hand fast. And I had to have that conversation with myself. What? All right, you need to buy a mic so you don't sound like a potato if you're trying to make these videos and stream or whatever it is you're trying to do. Why do you suddenly have 40 internet tabs open to try to get all kinds of guitar gear? Oh, and maybe even a guitar to play in your bedroom. When, you know, I'm a middle class dude. It's not like I'm rich or anything, but if you've been playing for, you know, a good amount of time, and you're somebody that kind of liked the the gear thing always, which I always have. I've always been looking at the next guitar, next amp, next pedal, even when I was a teenager. And anyway, I'm like, you've got more than you could ever really need, you know. Why are you suddenly having gear acquisition syndrome when you have stuff that you haven't even used? Or don't use very often? I think we've all been there, though. But, you know, this, if you're into it, you're into it. And you work and all that stuff. And, man, you got to have something that kind of keeps you in that mode of relaxation. But yeah, I was able to rein myself back in. Didn't buy anything, and you know, I'm pretty much got planned out what I do need to get, and when that's gonna happen. So you can only play one at a time. That's the problem with guitars. Well, unless you're that Michelangelo guy that shreds on like the little heart guitar that has two necks on each side that he can do legato on. Yeah, I don't need one of those. So what do I really need? But yeah, you know, it didn't help when I read apparently Marshalls, at least the U.S. Marshall prices, they like went way down on their mat pricing, and there's some talk about why that was, and mention of the company has a new distributor. Is that why? And the kind of overwhelming sentiment was, well, they kind of really dropped the prices to what they should have been for a while. But you know, I was looking, and I just didn't see I didn't see a current product that I was really attracted to as far as Marshall. And you know, I guess, yeah, could you get a DSL? Yeah, you know, I know they make higher end. I think they still got the hand wired JTM going, and you know, I don't have a whole lot of use for that because of the volume and all that, and Oh, get it into attenuator. No, I don't want to fool with all that. But anyway, I've never actually owned a Marshall. So I almost feel like I can't be an official. Well, I am a pretend guitar player because I only play in my bedroom, but I can't even be a bona fide pretend guitar player if I haven't owned a Marshall. So. I really like. I have a solid state rig, and that's really what I play. I mean, it's pieced together. It's a Ethos Clean preamp, pedal board into that, and a solid state power amp, and I'm getting really most of my sounds from pedals. But the Bogner Blue pedal, I got it when it first came out, when it was like $300, and now they're like a third of that. But that really got the sound of the bass mild overdrive sound of what I wanted. It really made the Bogner Synergy unit for the preamp, which is really cool. It's got the blue channel and red channel. It's all tube, and I run it into the power amp of my tube head, and that gets me close enough. It's like it sounds like enough like Bogner to I mean, it is the preamp of a Bogner Ecstasy, so it should, but I really like that setup. But anyway, went down a deep dark hole. Looking at the Fryette, like the PS2 and PS100, thinking, is that gonna give me? Yeah, well, there you go. You see, how many? Let's count how many times that happens. I didn't know. They've never known what a closed door meant. If I was sitting in here playing Tiddlywinks, I wouldn't have my door closed, and you could come in and ask me your very important question, like, how many legs do insects have, or something real important that's of the moment, that needs to be answered right away. Just open the door, ask him. Or even better, a complaint. That's what I'm here for. is your complaints. But I'm really liking that's mostly really all I've been using this whole video is the Idiot Box Power Drive. It's a Color Sound Power Booster clone. Well, not a clone because it's got some adjustability as far as it's got a high-low knob, a voltage knob, drive knob, volume knob. And I think I remember the guy that designed it, Idiot Box Effects, did something to bring the voltage up to 18. I'm not sure what relevance that is, if that's something to do with how the older circuits ran. But, like here, that's volume knob on 3. The power drive into the Bogner Ecstasy Blue. And tone knob. I'm one of those guys that hates treble, so I have the tone knob turned down pretty low, but crack it open a little bit, and this is on 8. Go to the bridge pickup. It's pretty fuzzy, man. But it has that it gives me that kind of like, makes me feel like I'm playing on a 70s fusion album or something. At least tone wise, maybe not skill wise. And then my modern lead tone is just a good old SD9, every fusion player's secret weapon. Ought to do it more justice. SD9, Scott Henderson, Michael Landau, cheat code for the thick lead tone. The only problem with them is the tone knob, basically you turn on a Maxon SD9, you turn the tone knob all the way down, and that's where you start. And you may move it up just a smidge and open it up. But shoot, Scott Henderson and Michael Landau both now have their own boutique versions of the SD9 circuit. So, which once again, during my gear acquisition failure period this week, I was looking at the Geisha drive, the Way Huge Geisha drive. They came out with the one that's called Small, Way Huge Geisha drive Small, or Smalls or something. But it's my understanding that's a SD9 clone that's had the that's been modified where the tone knobs a little more useful. But you know, if you've used the SD9 with the tone knob turned all the way down for the Fusion Tone cheat code, for me it's pretty hard to top it. I actually I'm a big Eric Johnson fan too, even though I've never really been able to cop his sound, man. I've the first time I heard Eric Johnson and his violin tone, I was just like, it was like angels falling through the sky or something to a young me. And you know, I've tried at various levels of success to incorporate it into my playing, but I don't use you know, like usually if I do something and I'm trying to be Eric Johnson-esque, is you know, it's just not the same. I don't have the same stair step pentatonic bounce. Of course, I play with my fingers too, but anyway, got off track. I have a BK Butler tube driver. I've had it for a long time. Made by the man himself, and of course, if you know Eric Johnson, he's used that through a huge Marshall stack for a long time. He uses it a little different than you would expect. He turns both tone controls, the high and low, all the way down, and he's got that Marshall just cranked all the way, and he actually, the tube driver is below unity from what I've read, the way he runs it, which is very counterintuitive. And of course, you know, he's had the Echoplex in the signal chain and stuff like that definitely have an influence on what is driving that vintage type Marshall head, but for the most part, the his sounds have been very consistently dependent on a tube driver through a Marshall or a fuzz face through a Marshall, and then I think he has that. If I remember correctly, he's kind of got a choose your own adventure 3-way pedal setup where he hits one button, that's the lead Marshall with the tube driver. He hits another button, and that is a rhythm Marshall that's set kind of mild breakup-ish. And then he may have he runs the fuzz face through that one, and his fuzz face sound is sonically similar to the tube driver sound and how thick and violin-esque it is. But that's running into what he calls his dirty rhythm Marshall. And then he has a third switch he can hit that's going to be the stereo twin reverbs or something very similar to that, where he's gonna have the TC chorus available and probably a different delay. He's used a rack delay there, and he changes up different things over the years, but most of that's been fairly consistent. So anyway, I started talking about the tube driver, got a little off track. I was kind of doing my own little shootout between the SD9 and the tube driver, and the tube driver does a very specific thing with that that tube that runs on starved voltage. It's a very specific sound and feel, and it sounds great. I could easily let that be my lead tone, and may at some point have before, but I don't know, the SD9 is just a little bit, I don't know if I would say versatile, but it can get fairly violin-esque, So that's my bad playing. Anyway, a lot of that violin style, I think, is not that I'm an expert or not that I'm nailing it by any means, obviously, but it's the attack or lack thereof on the notes, and like guys like Eric Johnson and Holdsworth Alan Holdsworth it. They must really have a very special, well, Alan Holdsworth, rest in peace. He must have had, and Eric Johnson must have, just a really special pick attack to be able to make it so it's almost non-existent in some, that's why it sounds so violin-esque. I'm able to reduce the attack because I use my fingers, and that's obviously a I think anybody that uses their fingers or has used their fingers or hybrid picks at all can attest to you have some extra dynamics that you wouldn't necessarily have using a pick unless you're Eric Johnson or Alan Holdsworth. Then you can use a pick and never hear the pick attack. Don't know how, but so, yeah, I broke out the old tube driver and put it up against the SD9, and it's just more practical to have the SD9. The tube driver has a plug that it's not easy to incorporate it into a pedal board. It's big. So it sounds great, I really like, I had a pedal board set up one time kind of in a way trying to copy Eric Johnson, where I had a A-B switch, and the A switch was just, my normal sounds, and it had, what I would work with normally, and then I'd hit one button and it would be the tube driver going into the Fulltone OCD, which I like it too, for kind of a pedal to simulate kind of crunchy Marshall-y. And then it was all going, and then I had a delay pedal specifically set for that chain, and it did pretty doggone good for a guy playing in his bedroom to be able to hit a button and try to get his Eric Johnson on. But I'm kind of minimalist more so these days. I think I need to worry more about practice than putting a pedal on my pedal board. Hopefully y'all can hear the nice sound of my dog barking for no reason. Now both of them are barking. I'm not a huge chorus guy. I think a lot of people make it sound really good. There's something about chorus, and I know this is going to make some people crazy because, like, you know, the Dan Huff crew that likes that overdrive or dirty tone with chorus. Something about it just doesn't sit right with me, but clean. It can be fine. Personally, I can't dig it when there's there's a slight bit of dirt on right now. It's fine. But if I get really I don't like the chorus there. I'm getting modulation from delay. And a pretty aggressive reverb, obviously. So that's more palpable to me, even though that y'all probably like that reverb is a little much there, bro. So, yeah, it's kind of a test stream. My first time. I'll listen back to it, see how the video and audio sounds, and probably want to throw my computer out the window. But I am working on that for sure, and I want to get a mic. This is actually a pretty good mic. Well, for I think of it more as a live mic. But I have plans to get a mic that's more fitting for this need, and if there's any balance issues, I will be able to address those in the future. And that's all I have to say about that. No, it's kind of a test run. I would like to eventually be able to stream and get some good combos going with other guitar guys like me. Always fun to talk guitar and trade information and talk about gear you wish you had and gear that got away, and also about the journey of being a musician and trying to further yourself along that journey, because that's definitely something that that's I associate with my playing. I always want to get better, and what to do that, and tricks to address specific issues, and where to go, and anyway, hey, if there is a moving picture of me in some sound, then that's a step in the right direction for this non-technical Neanderthal of a guitar player trying to use a computer. So I'll evaluate it. Maybe somebody can catch it on the video on demand, leave it out there, and look forward to doing more in the future, because when it's time for my guitar vacation, it's happening. It may get interrupted, you see, door's gonna get open. Hey, it's all good. Like Jimi Hendrix said in Red House, I still got my guitar. And I think that's a good place to end it there. I still got my guitar. Happy guitar vacation to you all until the next time.